Otherwise, let's go ahead and take a look at our contests, shall we? These are the games number 1 of the night as well. There you go. There's our raffle has ended. Not Space, Hollywood, TY24, Smiley Face Jane, and Death from Above. Congratulations, you have all won 1,250 caps each. Congratulations. But as always, guys, this is going to be our matchups for the evening. You can't see one behind me, unfortunately, but we're going to have the Cluckers and the Bears, the Armadillos and the Coyotes across the way over to the right, almost behind the bet, which is down to the last 45 seconds, is the Goats and the Ducks. The Giants and the Bats are going to be squaring off, as well as the Murray's Frogs and the Whistlers. The melodramatic Mythics are going to be playing against the Midsummer Owls. The High Kings are up against the New Jersey Nobles this afternoon. The Reapers are against the Warlocks. And then, of course, across the way, the Admirals are up against the Cacti. Behind me, you can't even see it because, unfortunately, it's just barely covered a little bit. Hold on, let me slide down on the screen here. There we go. Boom. The Ninjas are up against the Trains, Captains and Queens, and then Pioneers and Rockets. All right, it's the last 10 seconds for your guys' chances to be able to get in your bets. Do you think it'll be the Frogs or the Whistlers? Last final chance for bets. We've got 61,000 caps in, and a lot of people are saying Whistlers. Okay, then. Whistlers might be the one we're going to be able to do. Where's Marbs? No marbles for right now. We have barely enough time to be able to do the real-time simulation for 2 different contests today. So, regretfully, it is just going to be all real-time simulations today, folks. We don't have time for marbles. We will be doing some more marbles on Saturday, though, okay? Saturday will be your day to come back and do some marbles. We'll probably do about 8 or 9 races on Saturday. I will be hosting on Saturday, by the way, because Qui-Gon Jake is going to be on vacay. So congratulations, Qui-Gon Jake. Enjoy your time off. But we will be doing about 8 or 9 marbles races on Saturday. So hold on to your marbles. We'll get around to them on Saturday, okay? We'll get to them. Alrighty, it is time for our first games of the night. It's going to be the Cluckers and the Bears and the Kings and the Nobles. Let's see how these 2 different teams pan out. Again, this is the number 2 pitchers going at it. So we've got Billy Douglas and Sue McFarland so far, as we got some chances to score here for the Cluckers. And it looks like the Kings, nope, the Cluckers will get a run. Fielder's choice scores in Robinson. Bears are now down 1-0. I will probably be playing Fallout 4 again. No worries, I rock. This is a good game to play. Nobles get a run on a sacrifice fly. They haven't had a hit yet so far, but they do score a run. Tony Gwynn scores in the bottom of the first. Both clubs in both games are now heading to the top of the second. 1-0 in favor of the Cluckers, 1-0 in favor of the Nobles at this point. And we're getting through the second inning, of course, both sides. So we got Billy Douglas, Fred Rogers, Roy Halladay, and Sue McFarland pitching for all 4 of our ball games so far. Gotta do my Railroad or Brotherhood runs? Exactly. Now, do you prefer Brotherhood or Railroad? I mean, no, it's Brotherhood or it's, what's the other group that you can technically play with? And the factions you can join up with. I know the Brotherhood is a pretty big one. A lot of people pick that one for their main playthrough, basically. Into the third innings we go, and it's still 1-0. Minutemen, that's right, that's the other one. That's right. Both teams have scored a run without a hit. I love it, Hollywood. Yes. Both teams have scored a run, and now, finally, the Nobles have their first hit of the ball game. Ernie Banks triples home, I don't know, and the Bears have taken a lead on a Bully McGuire home run, his 3rd of the regular season. Big piece of hitting right there for Bully McGuire. The Bears answer the Cluckers. That's unfortunately Fred Rogers having a little bit of a rough time. But the Cluckers are not to be denied. Danny Smith hits home run number 3 of his own. And it's a solo shot, and that gives the game a 1-run lead for the Bears. And a chance here in the top of the 4th. Both games are into the 4th innings, and now officially potentially into the 5th innings for the Kings and the Nobles. Billy Douglas is having a great outing so far for the Nobles as their number 2 starting pitcher. Let's see if I didn't jinx it right there, unfortunately. Double play ends the inning, though. I also might do an Institute playthrough on survival difficulty. Ooh, that'd be a tough decision right about there. I rock this. Wow. As someone who has watched quite a few Fallout playthroughs because of streamers that I follow, yes, I know that that is not easy to do. Lots of loading and saving and loading and saving. Sixth innings we go between our two games at this point. Vladimir Guerrero has tied up the ball game for the Cluckers. It's now 3-3 on a solo homer, and Colby Joe singles home Koba, and the Nobles and Kings are all tied up as well. So the last 6 innings don't even matter. It's tie ball games once again. Kings and Nobles squared up at 1 apiece, and the Cluckers and Bears 1 apiece as well. Played it without any mods. Oof. Boomer Gray triples home 2 runners, and the Bears take a 5-3 lead. That's gonna hurt. Boomer Gray, not exactly known for his offensive prowess. Bob Saltalamacchiavellini gets a single, and he will score in the 6th run for the Bears. They now lead 6-3. Not good for them. And the other games are getting underway. The Coyotes have hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 1st. Jawan Jones hitting his first home run of the regular season. And then the Reapers and Warlocks are starting up as well. Armadillos score a run on an Estevan Verl home run. Let's see if we can get anything about the Nobles. They've got a runner on third base, but they are not able to get that runner home. Crazen Legumes grounds out, scoring in. Patterson and the Armadillos have their second run of the game. Box scores, Joker. Box scores, S at the end. And that should be up and running at this point, too. So we've got a 6-3 ball game in favor of the Bears over the Cluckers so far. A tie game with a 1-1 score against the Nobles and the Kings. They're top of the 8th as well. And then we're going into the top of the 3rd between the Coyotes and the Armadillos. 4-2 is the score over there. Coyotes in the lead. And then 0-0-0-0-0-0 between the Reapers and the Warlocks. They are going into the top of the 3rd. The Cluckers get a run on a Crash Davis single in the top of the 8th, and they now are only down by 2 runs, but that's all they're able to get. The Nobles are looking to get a lead here, but Dean Danger strikes out. Can Killebrew get something on the board here? He will pop out 2 down, and Urioste lines out. It is a tough way to have runners on first and second and not score a run. 3 straight outs for the Kings, and they will retire the Nobles in the bottom of the 8th. They'll head to the 9th. It's still tied 1-1. All right, we are back from the ad break. All right, let us continue, shall we? On we go. Top of the 9th we go. Cluckers down to their final 3 outs. 1 out immediately. 2 outs immediately. And it looks like that is going to be it. The Kings have gotten 3 runs off of shadow bans. The Bears take down the Cluckers 7-4. Vicky Kawaguchi doubled home McBaron and Rose, and then Felix Martinez grounded out, scoring Kawaguchi. And unfortunately, one of the better relief pitchers in the game, potentially the best relief pitcher in the game, has given up his first runs of the season, and the game is now blown wide open. 4-1 is the score, as the Nobles are going to be going to the bottom of the 9th here in just a second, and they're going to be down by some runs. This is not good. The Reapers got their first run of the ball game on an Amir Andrews solo home run. That's his second homer of the regular season. We are going into the bottom of the 9th. It is finally the final chance for the Nobles here. They are down by 3. This would be a solid performance from the Kings pitching staff. Jessica Wasarsis has hit a homer for the Coyotes. They now lead 5-2 against the Armadillos. 1 down for the Nobles. They've got 2 more left. Dante Havisham. And then Tommy Shanks is hit by a pitch. It's all down to Ricky Johnson. Runner on first base. Can Ricky keep the game alive? Hasselhoff going for the win at this point, actually. And that will be it. Hasselhoff gets the win. Bands gets the loss. It is a pretty sound loss for the Nobles against the Kings. Timmy Unger has doubled home Bradford Smart, and the Warlocks have tied up the ball game in the 5th inning. Let's go ahead and speed it back up here for a quick second. We've got a 5-2 score so far. Coyotes over the Armadillos, and the Armadillos are not able to score, unfortunately. Reapers and Warlocks still tied at 1 as we go to the top of the 5th over there. We do have some more games getting started. It's the Admirals up against the Cacti, and the Goats up against the Ducks. The Admirals have scored a run on a Dmitry Petrovich double scoring in Ty Cobb, and now a base Von Balls solo homer. That's the Armadillos. They now have a 2-run deficit against the Coyotes. Hitty Ball has hit a solo homer. And it looked like Babe Ruth grounded out scoring in Brown, and that was how the Goats got their first run, but then the Ducks got a run on a George Herman single. So, couple of interesting games happening as well. That's the Ninjas and Trains, by the way. That was Hitty Ball's solo homer, his second of the regular season over there. Frank Thomas has given the Ducks a 2-run lead on a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first, and the Ducks are flexing their offensive muscles in these game number 2s. We'll see if anyone else wants to score at this point. We've got a couple of games of runners in scoring positions. Jose Miranda has hit a solo homer for the Armadillos, and it's now a 5-4 ball game over there. Roman Ade has finally hit his first home run of the big league season. It's a big 2-run shot, and that gives the Trains a 2-1 lead over the Ninjas in the bottom of the first. We're into the top of the 8th. The Reapers and Warlocks are still tied 1-1. That's interesting. Didn't expect to see that. Marina Peck has hit a double, and then Barry Allen grounds out, and the Ninjas have taken a 3-2 lead. Interesting. Still waiting on the Gooch to go deep. You're right. Vinny the Gooch does need to go deep here pretty soon. Gorgo the Gamer has given the Ducks a 4-1 lead, and then Amir Khan has given the Reapers a 2-run lead, hitting a 2-run homer off of Tom Delgado. Doran Elmer has doubled home Gorgo the Gamer, and the Ducks now have a 5-1 lead over that game. The Goats' pitching staff not looking very good, unfortunately. Sejuan Jones, Khan's second homer of the game. Wait, hold on. Second homer of the game. I would have seen that. Amir Khan's first homer of the game, first home run of the season, I believe. Unless you're talking about somebody else, but I know it says Juan Jones and his brother, which was the person who hit the grand slam. That's Jawan Jones. They have gone with double homers for the day, basically. A solo homer for the Warlocks. They're now into the top of the 9th. Reapers still up 3-2 in that ball game, though. Sailor Pottles doubled homer run for the Coyotes. They now have a 6-4 lead over the Armadillos. And then Vladimir Womack has given the Trains the tie once again, scoring in Tolofsen. No worries, no worries. Normally it'll tell us when it's like a second homer of the game. That's actually like a big achievement for most players. Roman Ade singles home 2 runs, and the Trains take a 5-3 lead. All right, the Warlocks are down to their final 3 outs. Speaking of second homers of the game, Estevan Verl has hit another home run for the Armadillos in the top of the 8th, tying the ball game. 6-6 apiece is the score over there. The Warlocks are down to their final 3 outs. They need to score a run to tie it. Ty 24 comes in and instantly gives up the solo homer. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Ty. Ty gets the ground out. He's got 2 down in the inning now officially. Can he get out of it? Tammy Lee walks. Belladonna Brown singles. And Sejuan Jones will walk. And then a ground out. Woohoo! Okay, that could have been way worse. 24 does get the blown save because of the solo homer given up, but he has 3 walks, 2 hits, does get 3 outs, gets out of the inning, and we will head to extras between the Reapers and the Warlocks. Oh man, that's way too much heart palpitations for me. Scoring on a wild pitch is Quake that gives the Ninjas the tie after a D. Fernandez ground out following that play. It's now 5-5 over there. Every single game but the Ducks and the Goats are tied up. 3-3 between the Reapers and the Warlocks in the top of the 10th. 6-6 in the top of the 9th between the Armadillos and the Coyotes. 1-1 between the Cacti and the Armadillos and the Admirals in the top of the 5th. And now 5-5 between the Ninjas and the Trains in the bottom of the 3rd. Let's see who can score some runs first. All right, different game altogether. Captain Kegleg hits a 2-run homer off of the Queens, and that's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Captains over the said Queens. Okay, all right, let's see what we got here now. Let's see who scored some runs. Can the Reapers score some runs? The answer is no. Amir Khan lines into a double play, and Ty 24 has to hold on to the tie. It's going to come down to whether or not they play Ty 24. I imagine if you are the Reapers, you have to go with him. I mean, it's either that or Angelique Harding. We'll see what happens here in just a second. Can the Warlocks win it? Can the Reapers keep the tie? Here's a nice little one. Wade Beers hits his second home run of the regular season, giving the Bats a 2-0 lead over the Giants. 24 is going to be continuing to pitch here in the bottom of the 10th. Runner on second. That's the go-ahead winning run. He gets Dazen Guile to line out. It's just so unpredictable. He gets Nell Heber to strike out looking. Runner on second. That is still the winning run for the Warlocks, but can they do anything about it? It's going to be all down to Bradford Smart, who hit the solo homer off of Ty in the bottom of the 9th. We are also going to extras between the Armadillos and the Coyotes. They have not figured out who wants to win that ball game either. It is tied 6-6. George Herman hits a sacrifice fly for the Ducks. They now lead 6-1, by the way. But we're all eyes and attention on the Reapers and Warlocks. Can 24 keep the game tied? Yes, he can. I know that's not the most enthusiastic thing to root for, but basically that is the best case scenario for tie for the Carolina Reapers. They will tie. They are our first tie ball game between any organization, and we don't do 10 innings plus. We cut it off after 10, and that is going to be our first tie of the game. Reapers and the Warlocks, our first tie games. You thought you blew it? No, you did okay. You did okay. We had the tie. Congratulations to both ball clubs. That is going to be a tie forevermore. Frank Thomas doubles home a run. Ducks now lead 7-1. Mike Piazza hits a solo home run, as does Jose Payne for the Bats. They now lead 4-0. So the offense for the Bats already awake and kicking. Fred Benson hits a sacrifice fly, scoring in Marina Peck. That gives the Ninjas a 6-5 lead. Yes, you really don't have enough pitching staffs to go more than 10 innings. You just don't. You might be lucky to have all of your relief pitchers be able to get you through 10 innings. So we really don't want you going past 10. Alrighty, we're in the top of the 10th between the Armadillos and the Coyotes. Can the Armadillos score a run? They've got the bases loaded as Justin Fern is hit by a pitch, and it's all down to Base on Balls, and Base on Balls does it. Grand slam for Base on Balls, his second home run of the ball game, third of the season, and the Armadillos take a 10-6 lead. That was huge. That is a huge piece of hitting right there by Base on Balls. Congratulations, EVC. Mikey Thomas has singled home a run. The Cacti now finally break open this ball game against the Admirals. 2-1 is the score over there. We're looking at not the knock versus knock matchup, but the Goats have started to come alive here in the top of the 6th. A Juan Brown triple and an Ikaika knock double has scored in 2 runs, and the Goats are now down by only 4 runs. We go to the bottom of the 10th. The Armadillos have a 10-6 lead over the Coyotes. Babe Ruth has doubled. That gives the Goats their 4th run of the ball game, and Bryce Utley hits a 2-run homer, and that gives the Cacti a 4-1 lead over the Admirals. Let's see if the Coyotes can score any runs to make up for the loss. Otherwise, Sunny Day is looking for a 3-inning save. They will walk Bruce Springsteen, an heir to Will Hunt. It'll mean Mike Trout, bases loaded. He strikes out swinging. Sam Hopper, bases loaded, 1 down. And it's going to be a double, scoring in 2. It's going to be a 10-8 ball game. Faye Dawson, runners on second and third. Can Faye Dawson do it? Sunny Day trying to keep the game in check. It's going to be a single scoring in Hunt. But that's going to be it. That's all they can get. They can only get the 3 runs. Armadillos win it 10-9. It's a nail biter at the end. And they are able to get the final 2 outs to retire the side. Wow, that was a lot of pitches for Sunny Day. How many pitches did Sunny Day throw? 43. Sunny Day is exhausted. Oh my gosh. But they needed all of that. D. Dempsey has hit a solo home run for the Captains. That's his 2nd of the regular season. Yeah, that's a rough win, unfortunately, but it's a win. You'll take it. Wow, that's a tough way to have to squeak out a victory about there. But regardless, Captains now up 3-0 against the Queens. The Bats have responded with a run of their own. Cinnamon Roll doubles home Samantha Winslow. It's now officially 5-0 Bats over the Giants. Right. Never mind, they don't respond. They continue to pack on their lead against the Giants. It's the Goats and Ducks that I'm worried about. 7 runs and 4 runs over there. All right, quick roundup of all the games. 7-4 is the score. Ducks over the Goats. 4-1 is the score. Cacti over the Admirals. Both of those games are in the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-0 in favor of the Bats as Boom Boom McBroom singles home Cinnamon Roll. It's now 6-0 as they go to the top of the 3rd. Bottom of the 5th, the Trains have got the bases loaded and nobody out. Oh, this is not good for Wing Quan. Hit by a pitch, scores Roman a day. Doran Elmer has hit his first homer of the regular season. It's now 8-4 in favor of the Ducks against the Goats. The Trains, again, have tied up the ball game against the Ninjas. They've got the bases loaded, nobody out. Play at the plate on a ground ball is an out. So they'll get 1 out, keep the bases loaded. Trains do it again. Tolofsen up to bat. George Herman hits a solo homer for the Ducks. It's now 9-4. The Ducks' offense is just too much today. Tolofsen singles home Utley. It's now going to be 7-6, and now it's 8-6. The Trains have gotten 2 runs. Make that 5 runs. It's now 11-6. Andrew Page doubles home everybody. The Trains' offense is coming to life. Finally. 11-6 is the score now. Trains absolutely in a commanding lead against the Ninjas. The Ducks are up 9-4. The Cacti still up 4-1. The Admirals' offense just not able to quite get the runs in place, although they are threatening here in the top of the 8th. Bert Handsome has given the Queens some life, a 2 RBI single here in the bottom of the 4th. And that has scored, of course, Bino and Wagner. Chris Jardine follows it up with a 2-run homer of his own. And the Queens have taken a 4-2 lead. 4-3 lead against the Captains. We dropped a couple frames there. My apologies. Gary Allen hits a 2-run homer for the Ninjas. It's now 11-8 against the Trains. And the Admirals got a run on a single by Billie Jean Blackwood. They've got the bases loaded, 2 down, and Fritz von Hastig up to bat against Evelyn Roomba. Let's see what von Hastig can do. He's hit by a pitch, and that scores Blackwood. That makes it a 1-run ball game. 4-3 is the score now officially. Let's see if the Admirals can keep the inning alive. Craig Biggio hits a solo homer for the Ninjas, and it's now 11-9 over there. 2-run ball game. We're still in the top of the 8th between the Admirals and the Cacti, but Stuart Sullivan strikes out looking. That will retire the side finally, but not before the Admirals, I believe, get 2 runs, and they make it a ball game once again. The Giants have gotten their first run of the ball game on a Rebecca Dunbar double, scoring home Lowry. And then Cutie Pie, it's a solo homer for the Captains. It's now tied up again, 4-4. 4-4 is the score over there. Tie ball game as they head to the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 9th we go. Final opportunity here for the Goats. They need 5 runs to be able to keep this game going. And I just don't see that happening, unfortunately. Cinnamon Roll has doubled home Samantha Winslow, and Wade Beers has a sacrifice fly. And it's now 8-1 in favor of the Bats. There we go. Boom, 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 McBroom. It's a solo home run, his 2nd of the regular season, and it's now officially 9-1 in favor of the Bats. The Trains have had a triple from Greasy Utley scoring in 2. It's now 13-9. Now the offenses get started. Top of the 9th, final opportunity for the Admirals and the Goats. Final opportunities, and the Goats are down to their final out. Let's see if they can do something about it. And they will not be able to do so. Mike Piazza hits another homer in the ball game. That's now officially double digits for the Bats. 2 homers in the game for Mike Piazza, his 3rd of the regular season. It's now 10-1 in favor of the Bats. Yes, my bet hit. I mean, wait, now. Down to the final out for the Admirals as Pete Wheeler is their final opportunity to be able to get the game and keep it alive. And Pete Wheeler is retired. And that is the end of the ball game between the Hold on, where is it? Yeah, Admirals and the Cacti. There it is right there. I see it now, finally. It's going to be a final score of 4-3 in favor of the Cacti. And again, Ducks over the Goats 9-4. Captain Kegleg has hit his second home run of the ball game. That is home run number 3 of the regular season for Captain Kegleg. A solo homer gives the Captains a 5-4 lead. And the big game of the day, the Frogs and the Whistlers, has already started. And the Frogs already have a run on an error. Alex Murray scored on the Danny Padilla error, reaching on an error, basically. And a double has almost cleared the bases. Juan Espinoza has given the Frogs a 3-0 lead. We are into the top of the 7th. Trains over the Ninjas, 14-9. Bats and Giants into the top of the 5th. It is now officially 10-1 over there. The Frogs have tacked on their 4th run of the top of the 1st on an Ichiro Suzuki fielder's choice, scoring in Padilla. Frogs get 4 runs in the top of the 1st, and that gives Finley Finster a little bit of breathing room. Don't get too relaxed, but a little bit of breathing room if you want to be able to do that. Okay, I said breathing room. I didn't say give it all up. Evan Longoria hits a 2-run homer for the Whistlers, and they have answered back against the Frogs. Speaking of home runs, Hammer Longballo has hit a solo homer for the Bats. It's now officially 11-1. It's now a double-digit lead for the Bats over there. I'd like to breathe too, Death from Above. All this talking. I'm pretty sure you did say give it all up. Lisa Crockett has hit a 2-run homer, and all the runs in the top of the 1st are for nothing. Oh my goodness. Raquel Colon has hit a solo homer for the Giants, and that gives them their 2nd run of the ball game. It's now 11-2 in favor of the Bats. Roman Aday has had 4 hits in the ball game for the Trains. They've got runners in the corners, bottom of the 7th. Claudia Villarta has hit a solo homer for the Pioneers. They now somehow lead 2-0 after, I believe, an error. Yes, an error. Interesting. But regardless, let us keep going. And away we go. Roland McPoley has hit a 3-run homer for the Trains. They now lead 17-9. 17-9 is the new score over there. Hughes on first has singled home Luann Louie, and that has given the Frogs a 5-4 lead. It's going to be an offensive day. It has to be the offensive day, guys. It just has to be that way, all right? It just has to be. Alrighty, couple of games moving on. Danny Padilla has hit a 2-run homer for the Frogs. That is his first homer of the regular season. It's now 7-3 in favor of the Frogs. The Whistlers have 3 errors in the ball game already. We are into the bottom of the 8th. The Trains still holding on to their 8-run lead over the Ninjas. And then top of the 7th, the Bats still hold on to their 9-run lead against the Giants. That Trains and Ninjas game is ridiculous, though, by the way. That's a 26-run ball game, 25 hits. Really? 25 hits? Less hits than runs? Good grief. Good grief indeed. Oh my gosh. Have a night, Mike Piazza. Solo homer, his 3rd of the ball game, 4th of the regular season. Mike Piazza is just destroying the Giants. Mike Piazza, 3 for 4, 3 home runs, all solo homers. 3 solo home runs for Mike Piazza. The Bats now lead 12-2. Back up to double digits for their lead. That is ridiculous. Alrighty. We're looking at top of the 9th. The Ninjas are down to their final out here. Mahoney against Strawberry. And Strawberry's got a full count pitch, and that will do it. The Trains will take down the Ninjas 17-9. We have games like the Admirals and Cacti where it's 3-4. We have tie games where it's 3-3. We even have close games where it's 10-9. And then you have 17-9. And I don't know what to make of that. Claudia Villarta and Jerry Santillan have singled and doubled, respectively, scoring in both Santillan and Henderson. And the Pioneers have taken a 4-0 lead against the Rockets. This is the only other team that's undefeated. The Whistlers and the Rockets, both 3-0 for the regular season so far. We'll have to see if they can keep these streaks alive as they are up against some pretty good competition this time. We'll see what happens. Nothing else has happened across the league, though. The Giants do have the bases loaded in the top of the 8th. The Captains. Wow, that game was fast. Captains take down the Queens 5-4. A close ball game, but Captain Keglig and his 2 home runs is enough to propel the Captains to their 5-4 victory. Wow. Can the Giants do anything? They will get 1 run on a bases-loaded walk, but Eric LeBeau strikes out looking, and the Bats will take their lead to the bottom of the 8th. And they're going to just put it right back to double digits. Cinnamon Roll hits a solo homer. He's now 3 for 5 in the ball game. 2 doubles, a home run, 3 RBIs for Cinnamon Roll. A good day for Cinnamon Roll. I'm surprised. Yeah, somehow the schedule is throwing one of the games at like late into the evening every single day, so it's not going to get started until like every single other game is done. Well, almost. It's about to start right about, well, basically now. 9:05. There it goes. All right. Owls and Mythics now officially starting up their ball game as well. Star Moonbeam has hit a solo homer for the Giants. That game is now 13-4 over there. We're going to go ahead and speed up just a little bit because I don't see anything else happening for a while. All right, Giants have got some chances here at the top of the 9th. Runners on first and second. And a Mike Schmidt 3-run homer has cut the lead in half almost. But I don't know how much it's going to actually be able to do. It's a 13-7 lead in favor of the Bats. Although here come the Giants. Rebecca Dunbar has doubled home Jessica Lowry. It's now an 8-13 deficit for the Giants. It's still 5 runs, but still. They've got a runner on second, 1 down. Runners on first and second, 1 down. Oh. Is it time to do prayers? Okay. Hold on, guys. We have an ad break starting in 1.5 minutes. I'm going to take that really quickly right now. I'm going to take my ad break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to go put Finley down. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Hang tight. Where did we leave off? Yes, the Giants are still trying to be able to get something here in the top of the 9th. The Mythics have hit their first homer of the ball game. Giancarlo Stanton hits home run number 3 of the season. The Giants have got the runners on first and second, but now they have 2 down. LeBeau strikes out, swinging it's all down to Star Moonbeam. Runners on first and second, 2 down, and that will do it. The Bats take down the Giants 13-8. Joey Cumberbatch has singled home what's on second. And the Pioneers now have a 5-0 lead over the Rockets. Interesting. All right, a couple of our ball games about to finish up here. Top of the 7th we go for the Pioneers and the Frogs. Both of those 2 respective teams in their top innings. Fielder's choice for Marcellus Marks, though, unfortunately, and that will retire the side for the Pioneers against the Rockets. The Frogs have got a runner on first base, nobody out. Hughes on first, up to the plate, and Hughes on first. It's like I knew it was going to happen. Hughes on first hits home run number 4 of the regular season, first of the ball game, and it's now 10-4 Frogs as Chuck Norris gets his 3rd home run of the season as well. So the Frogs are looking to dominate against the Whistlers tonight. It's a 10-4 game, and it's not looking so good for the bettors, unfortunately. That's the Frogs' victory in the making, it looks like. Pioneers still holding on to that 5-0 lead in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 7th we go. The Frogs have given up a triple to Jose O'Reilly. Finley Finster doing pretty good, though. Doing pretty good. The Pioneers have gotten a triple from Knuckle Tech and a double from Karl Karansky, and it's now a 7-0 ball game over there. Rockets not looking very good either. I think both of our undefeated teams are going to have their first defeats of the regular season. It's just inevitable. The Mythics are up 2-0 against the Owls on a Susan Gore sacrifice fly, scoring in Cordoba. Pioneers threatening to score, they will not. And the Frogs are threatening to score. Hughes on first, doubles home back, and it's going to be 11-4. Frogs now 12-4. Chuck Norris has doubled home. Hughes on first. It's now officially 12-4 in favor of the Frogs. and they will retire the side from the Whistler's standpoint, and they'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Eric Kelly has hit home run number 2 of the regular season, and the Owls have gotten a run here in the bottom of the 4th. Top of the 9th we go for the Pioneers and Rockets. It's a 7-0 lead for the Pioneers. We are in the bottom of the 8th, and Linda Potter is pitching for the Frogs. Wow, they're not going to Finley Murray immediately. We'll see if they want to down the road, but they are going to let her go through the bottom of the 8th at least, so that's impressive. All right, okay, I can dig it. We go on to the bottom of the 9th between the Rockets and the Pioneers, and that game is down to their final 3 outs. Yes, Eric Kelly dingering to put the Owls on the board. Speaking of home runs to put a team on the board, Alejandro Arellano has hit a solo homer, his first of the regular season, and that gives the Rockets their first run of the ball game. Bottom of the 9th we go between the Frogs and the Whistlers. Final chance here for the Whistlers to be able to score some runs. Chico Pappas and Barbara Jones have tag teamed to be able to get 2 runs in for the Rockets. It's now 7-3 in favor of the Pioneers. Jody Weed has hit a solo homer. Home run number 2 for Jody Weed. Mythics now lead 3-1 in that ball game over there. Whistlers are down to their final out of the ball game, and that will be it. Frogs take down the Whistlers 12-4. Oof. 12-4 is the final score over there, and the Pioneers do finally manage to take down the Rockets. Final score 7-3, and that brings us around to our final ball game of the day, Mythics and the Owls. Chris Moses hits a 2-run homer for the Mythics. They now lead 5-1. And you're right, Vinny the Gooch does need to get going. And he walks, so it's not terrible. Kelly's sacrifice flies after the crescent roll single. It's now 5-3. That's all they will get, though. It's a save situation, though. Unless you give up some runs here. Double for Cordoba. And Giancarlo Stanton doubles. It's now 8-3 in favor of the Mythics. Mythics offense is just too much for the Owls pitching staff. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Notwick trying to be able to continue on in the ball game. Jorge Garcia singles. A walk for Heather Quinn. It's a chance here for the Owls. They've got runners on first and second. 1 down now. Germ Thang hits a 3-run homer. First home run of the regular season for Germ Thang. It's a big one, and that brings the ball game within 2 runs. Top of the 8th we go. Mythics still leading against the Owls, 8-6. We'll see if they can get some insurance runs here, or if they'll go to the bottom of the inning still up by only 2, and it's going to be that. Only 2 runs as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Vinny the Gooch, the first one up to bat, and finally Vinny the Gooch pulls through. Solo home run for Vinny the Gooch. The Gooch likes that. Give him some more of that. I gotta get that clip into my soundboard. I actually forgot about that, Tim. But we gotta do that. Vinny the Gooch gives the Owls a 1-run deficit only as they go to the top of the 9th. They're trying to keep the game close here. Beamer Bird, runner on second, and they will get Beamer Bird to fly out. It'll be all down to the bottom of the 9th. It's going to be Bubba Ray Jones against Sonia Hagen. And then I think we're back around to the top of the order. No, Germ Thang, and then top of the order. Hagen strikes out swinging. Germ Thang hits his second home run of the ball game. And it ties the score 8-8. And that gives the Owls a good opportunity here to be able to get the win. Can they do it? Jocinda Smith grounds out, unfortunately. Can they do it? Crescent roll gets the single. It's going to be all down to Vinny the Gooch. Can Vinny do it again? He hit a homer in the bottom of the 8th. Let's see what he can do. Vinny the Gooch against Bubba Ray Jones. 1-0 pitch, 1-1 pitch on the way. Vinny just needs to be able to put the ball in play. That's all you want really right now. Oh, he lines out. Vinny the Gooch is not able to drive home the winning run and will go to extras. 10th inning we go, and Omar Stefano back out on the mound potentially here for the Owls in the top of the 10th. That is not what you wanted to see if you're an Owls fan. That was your best chance. Chris Moses singles, but they have the runners in the corners. Fielder's choice. They get the out at second. Another fielder's choice, the out at home. And Annie Frazier reaches on an air. Cordoba, bases loaded, 2 down. What can they do? Strikes out, swinging. The Mythics are unable to capitalize with runners in the corners, nobody out, and then runners on first and runner on third base. No, hold on. They had bases loaded, 2 down. They should have gotten something there. It'll be all down to the bottom of the 10th. Excuse me. Bubba Ray Jones against Eric Kelly. Runner on second is Vinny the Gooch. They will intentionally walk Eric Kelly to get to Jackie Wells. Jackie Wells strikes out looking. Jorge Garcia, 1-1 pitch on the way. He will pop out. It's going to be all down to Heather Quinn. Are we going to have our second tie of the season already? And the answer is yes. Vinny the Gooch is left on second. And we have our second tie of the season. This time, the Owls and the Mythics will end their game unable to decide who wins. It's a tough way to be able to lose or not even win. It depends on how you view it, but unfortunately, a rough day for both of those ball clubs. Mike Piazza had the best day of the entire day, however. He had 3 home runs for the baseball bats as they eked out a win against the Tiny Giants in a 13-8 victory. Definitely a lot of offense between a lot of these organizations and a lot of mix-ups. We now officially have every single team having won 1 game, and every single team has lost at least 1 game. Congratulations, guys. This is definitely the soonest we've ever had. Nobody undefeated and nobody winless. Everything is still very, very close together, which means it is time to get to our second games of the day.